loves, and welcome back to another video. Today we are reading chapter 16 of Butterfly Blues, a Nagisa Shiota ex-listener written by yours truly. I felt the adrenaline rush as the black SUV pulled into a hall I'd never seen before. The strobe lights, the stream colors, the music, it all made it seem like we were at one of those rave parties I'd read about in between my slight studies. The car pulled into a stall with the label Asano on it and stopped. Around us, other family members pulled into similar stalls, and when I looked out Nagisa's window, I could see Aunt Cleo and Aunt Valerie get out of their singular cars with their own husbands. My parents got out as well, and the pair in front of me followed soon after. Once Gakushu and Rio were out, Nagisa was quick on his feet and slid out the car like a snake. I stood in the middle of all four seats for a few seconds, watching Nagisa make his way over to the other side of the vehicle. Well, he smiled and held out his hand for me. I had no idea what to say. "This is where you take my hand," he motioned by twisting his wrist a little. "Right," I said, as confident as I felt, which was absolutely none. My brain said move, and yet my legs wouldn't listen. "Come on, it's not that hard," I assured myself, and as a result almost fell face first into the brim of the car. Thankfully though, Nagisa caught me like we planned it. It was smooth, and even though I landed on his shoulder, it was really comfortable. The blue pigtails set me down. I turned away in a red gush. My head was down, analyzing every single thing about the floor. It was so curious. The color of pigment, the design, the shadows that you could cast upon it in the moonlight. Oh, how I could go on and on. It really was the best thing I could use to distract myself from looking directly into Nagisa's eyes. I absolutely did not want to do that. "Hey, are you okay?" Nagisa reached his hand onto my shoulder and tilted his head. Even if I fully couldn't see his face, but oh my lord, if he saw just how cute he was in that moment. "I'm great. You don't sound too sure." "We're leaving," Gakushu interfered like the asshole he is. "Of course," Nagisa replied, which might have been the most proper thing he'd said all night up until this point. I thought a little about that assumption, then got cut off by Nagisa pulling my wristband, which was a delicate white gold bracelet with a carving of my name in the center. Matched my mask a lot if we were comparing. "Right. That's twice now." "What?" "That's twice that you've said it." "Right?" He smiled and nodded his head along with the sound he made. My family and our guests walked in the long hall, which had the corridors of an old ancient castle, and rounded our ways until we found our tables, loads of them, piled around each other, but also with a far distance away. "Our seats are over there," Gakuho stated and began leading us towards the table he pointed out. The tables were large and had white cloths on them. Utensils and wine glasses were set up in front of each chair, and along with the plates, napkins were folded neatly above them. The six of us began sitting down, and boy was it a sight when Mom encouraged Gakushu to pull out Rio's seat. By the end of the night, she might actually be set to be my sister-in-law in the future. Exactly what I was planning. I smirked evilly to myself, though Nagisa noticed and called me out. "You sure are excited." "I sure am." I didn't even try to deny it. They were my true intentions, and if Nagisa was going to help me with my plan, then why even bother lying? Should I be concerned? No, but they should. It was clear that at my words, sweat began to beat down Nagisa's forehead and neck. "This night is just beginning," I say casually, eyeing the side of Nagisa's head, and it was at this moment that I made eye contact with one of my aunts. It was not long, however, that I made eye contact with the other one. Since they had no kids, they were seated together with both their husbands, just as scary as my father, if not worse. Aunt Valerie nodded toward Nagisa, and her smile deepened when Nagisa asked if I was alright. This was now the second time he had asked me that tonight, if for two completely different reasons. Lord, why does my family have to be made up of monstrous, manipulative, sadist-sucking, hateful beings? Yes, I am aware that I am all, but still, I'm just fine, honestly. I lean in to question his intentions. Never knew he paid so much attention to me. Nagisa could only be under my stare for so long before he became a statue. I'm just teasing. I leaned back in my chair, but didn't break the intense meeting our eyes were having. Besides, you sound like a broken stereo. Cute and funny, actually. Maybe you shouldn't stop. I start pulling my phone from my bag. Why? He gasped with the mountain of blush on his cheeks. As soon as my phone was pointing at him with the camera open, his hand was all I could see, doing his best to try and stop his humiliation from going even further, without causing an uproar. Beside us, Rio and my mom were making small conversation, while Gakushu and our father silently listened. It's sad because sometimes I think that if I wasn't born with Shu, the word fun wouldn't be in his vocabulary. It'd be the one word he understood, but could never actually define. Hello? Oh shit, what in the hell could they possibly want? I thought as both my aunts and uncles circled us. We just wanted to say hi real quick. Oh, I'm so sure. Why don't you introduce us to your friend? Why did she pause like that? I smell something sketchy, and it's not the spray paint on the banner outside, I can assure you. Why? I narrowed my eyes, then got a kick from under the table by lukewarm orange juice, formerly known as my brother's shoe. My glare fell on him, but his knowing face got the better of me, and I sighed, giving him the fakest smile I've ever mustered. I stated, "This is my best friend, Shiota Nagisa." Shiota? I don't think I've ever heard that name. Aunt Valerie really wanted him to feel uncomfortable, huh? Well, I guess it's not that surprising. She and Aunt Cleo snickered at the comment. I looked at Nagisa as he held his head low, obviously not adoring the attention. What assholes? Right, I think it's time Nagisa and I go dance. He shot me a wavering look, and I gave him a sympathetic frown. Then I turned my nose up to my aunts and sneered at them. Nice talking to you. Please don't come near us again. Why, Aunt Cleo gasped, but Aunt Valerie put her hand up in front of her youngest sister while we walked off and turned to her other one. Gakushu's POV. Wayan and her little boyfriend walked away, leaving me and this heathen to fend for ourselves. Now that they were gone, my aunts would pester me instead. They might even try to intimidate Nakamura-san. Well, who cares anyway? She's just a snobby and annoying little princess. She won't stand up for herself because... Nakamura, is it? Oh no. Oh please, no. Yeah? It's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard of your mother. A very tight relationship we have. Aunt Valerie smiled. You could clearly see who the ringleader was in all this chaos. My face twisted inward. What is she planning? I'd like to actually speak with you about her. She paused and took a breath. If it's not a problem, that is. She was about to respond. Of course an idiot like her would. I need to cut in. Aunt Valerie, please, it's a party. I gestured around us, while the blonde can't keep her eyes off me. They're wide, in shock I assume. I don't smile. I don't make eye contact. I grab her hand and excuse us. We have better things to do than sit around talking to my family members. I scrunch my nose up as I drag us away and out of sight of them. Thanks, she mumbles. I roll my eyes. Is that all she has to say? But I could have handled myself. The hell? I stop immediately. I'm sorry, what? I look at her, cold-faced in the eyes. I can see she's trembling under my stare. Do I really scare her that much? She begins waving her hands in the air. That's not what I mean. She takes a deep breath in and out, blinking all the same. Look, she stares to the ground. I'm sorry. For what? It's whatever. I roll my head over to Mars and huff. Girls really are sensitive about these things. Guess it's really not just YN. No, it's really not. I keep my head down, cast it at the floor. but still don't move. My eyes look at her. I give in, seeing her like this, like that. It isn't right. If she got half of the spine Nakamura Ryo of Class 1E has, then this is not right. If anything, I should be the one apologizing. She lifts her head, eyes wide, mouth barely agape. What did you say? I shrug it off. Like nothing. I can't have her seeing what I'm really like. At least not yet. Don't ask, because I won't say it again, and if you tell anyone, I'll just deny it. She looked like she was mad, or crying, but it was when she looked up and moved her hands out of the way that I realized Ryo Nakamura was in fact laughing her ass off. I got embarrassed. Well, not that embarrassed, but you know, enough to the point of my cheeks flaring a slight pink. I wouldn't dare, she cooed. Besides, Ryan wouldn't let you live it down, and that's too low, even for me. She grinned. Why, that little... Is that Asuna Gakushu I see? Well, this is another surprise I half expected. Kohai. Here for my sister, I presume. He snakes his arm around Nakamura and states, well, I might just have to put Ryan in a hold. I unwrap his arm that had so annoyingly tied around Nakamura's. The girl was clearly uncomfortable with it. Anyone without a blindfold could see that. Chill, I stated and stood in front of Tinkerbell. Ryan is not going to like this. Not in the slightest. If you couldn't tell, I'm super excited. I'm super happy about this. Let me know how you find my Gakushu voice. It was so hard trying to depict a voice for him because I was like, should I go like this or should I go like it was weird because I haven't seen Assassination Classroom in forever, and so I don't really remember what his voice sounds like, and I can't really it's. I guess I imagine it to sound like Karma, but like less of the sadistic type. So like Karma, but less sadistic. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. Oh my god, I'm probably not making sense at all. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go edit this, and if you like this video, drop a like, yeah, okay. Bye, loves.